What's going on, guys? Mike Mizas here. Today we were talking about my first year as a realtor. So I got started in 2020 as the world was shutting down. I was studying for my license. Got licensed at the end of September, and it's been quite a ride. So we're not quite done our second year yet, but we're also going to do a video for that one. So we're going to go ahead and get into the first year. As long as you like, comment, and subscribe, keep me motivated to keep these videos coming. Plan on doing this every week for you. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. So my first year, I worked at Remax. My broker owned a property management company, and that's really important to understand because of my production. So I did a total of 8 units for him leased. I actually think that number was a little bit higher. Off the top of my head, I don't know. I since then left the brokerage, so I don't have all the transactions in front of me to really look at. And then I sold 3 homes, and on my very last day of the year, I closed on a 4th. So again, where did these come from? So I used this app called OpCity. It's part of Realtor.com. It's a referral program, and you pay 25% to 35% depending on their price point and like the rewards program. I don't use the app anymore. I stopped getting notified. And even when I do, it's like few and far between, low quality leads. I personally don't suggest it, but when you're first starting out, it definitely is good money and quick, and it gets you talking to people. It gets you learning on how to qualify people, which is really important, and I'm going to get into that at a later part in the video, the importance of qualifying. So again, 8 units sold. Some of those were for Remax, and then some of them were leads that I got myself. One of them came from Facebook. It was a friend of mine from high school. I helped her get into an apartment and get out of the situation that she was in prior. So the 3 homes that I had sold, they came from my team leader. Some of them. Another one came from OpCity. That was about a $35,000 sale. It was a mobile home. It was very interesting just learning and watching other agents try to teach me on how to do it, because it's a different process, very similar to buying a house, but it was a little bit different, and I got to watch experienced agents fumble. So we were all learning together, which was really neat. So that was my first sale, and that came in February. So about 5 months it took for me to sell a home. And then I had a condo listing that did come from my team leader. We worked that together. It had a total of 5 offers on it, and it sold in a weekend. It would have sold a lot sooner, but we had issues with the key that was in the lockbox. I think the electrician swapped it out and had a wrong key, so we had to then wait on the electrician. It was this whole thing that we lost showings on for about 2 days, but it's okay. Because of the market that we were in, we just had people lined up and ready to go when that key was in the lockbox and we were ready to show. It did sell over asking price, I believe around $5,000 over asking price. It wasn't anything crazy. I don't know if you're a realtor where you're watching or what your experience might be with condos, but I know here it is a little less competitive with condos. I've noticed it still is competitive. You're just not seeing things go 20, 50, 60,000 over ask, but they are over asking price in my experiences recently and in the past. All right, and so my third one was a buyer that I was working on with my team leader. He had me take the lead on it, and it was a great learning experience. They weren't quite ready to work yet, But we did get out into the field, and we were kind of getting an idea of what style of homes that they did like, what areas they did like, because they were honestly a couple younger than me. They're around 23, 24. And it was a really great learning experience for all of us, especially them, because they didn't really know. They just know that they need 4 walls and a roof and a yard for their dog. So that was really cool to kind of narrow everything down with them and learn that experience together, because they knew that I was a brand new agent, and we also knew that we had my team leader to lean on in case we did have questions. So that was a really awesome experience to work with them, and I appreciate it more than anything, because that helped me exponentially. All right, and so for my 4th sale, that did come from it was a buddy of mine. We actually all played on Xbox together. If you're a gamer, you kind of know how that it is. It was a friend of a friend, and then we met up because he knew that I was a realtor, and he was looking. He gave me a shot, and I'm glad that he did, because the market, he didn't think that he was going to be able to buy a home. We were looking, same thing. We were kind of getting an idea of what homes were going for in his price point. He had a set budget. He didn't want to spend over $400,000. And so we got to see all these cool homes. And it's funny because he wanted a really updated and modern house. And then as we started searching, he kind of fell in love with the idea of getting an older house and fixing it up. Not a rehab at all, but just a little bit older, something that they can make their own. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have to do that anyways, unless it is already been super updated and fits all the needs. But so that was how I got my 4th sale, and luckily we got into the house actually at asking price, and same with my 2 other sales, aside from the listing. So I take great pride in that, just because I know that how the market is. Things are going like 20% over ask in any given neighborhood quite often. My tip for that was just continue to put your best foot forward, and honestly pick up the phone and build a rapport with the other agent. I can tell you that went such a long way, because we were able to communicate what each of us needed from the other side, and that was really effective for me. When I bought a home, we did go over asking. I did since then sell other homes that were over asking, but it all depends, like if you're willing to or not. And I was blessed enough to have the opportunity to get these people in the homes and not have to break the bank. Quite frankly, but regardless, we made it, and the market is still going crazy. So a lot of things that I have learned through this is, one, it is very important to just stay consistent. Stay consistent, keep to your plan, and have a plan in place so that you can execute on it every day. I did that, and I was so busy my first year. I could never have imagined I would do that well in my first year. And now the second is back to what I was saying before. You really have to pre-qualify people. I didn't do that. I wasted a lot of time on a lot of people that, quite frankly, couldn't buy a home, will never buy a home. Well, I wouldn't say they would never buy a home, but I've since had to let go of a few people and tell them I can't work with them anymore because they wouldn't meet with the lender, or they would no call, no show enough times. And it just got to the point where I'm driving 30, 40 minutes away, and it's just a waste of my time. I'm here to help. I'm happy to help, and I've gotten into the business to help. However, I felt like my time was, quite frankly, being abused, and it's not a good feeling. You feel very disrespected, and then you're not selling anything, and they're taking you away from doing things such as cold calling that will make you money in the future. And the third thing I will say is follow-up is so important. It's so important, in fact, that you need to set yourself reminders if you're anything like me, because I write things down all the time on a piece of paper, but really nothing happens unless it's in my calendar. And that was a very important lesson, because I do believe that I could have sold a lot more, and I could have sold a lot more in my second year had I just followed up with the for sale by owners that I was calling, the expireds that I was calling, and the online leads that I was calling. It's a mistake. Things slip through the cracks, especially when it's not on your calendar or in your planner. I now have both. I use both, and thank God, because I would be lost without it. We at EXP have KV Core, so what I do is I set a task and I link my calendar to it so that it's automatically on my calendar. I go into my calendar and and make sure that I get the notification, because it won't set a notification. I'm not in KV Core all day, every day. Sometimes you have to go out. I like to film videos. So that reminder on my phone is very important, and since that has been very, very helpful. So now the last thing I do want to leave you with is this, and I will say just keep consistent. I can't tell you how many times I've started cold calling and then stopped cold calling and started back up again. It's very not good to do. So what you want to do is make sure you have your scripts in place. Google is your best friend. YouTube is your best friend, especially for these. I am on this cold calling journey again, and I need to stick it through, because that is how I want to build my business. I don't have the biggest sphere of influence. So utilizing these cold calling platforms that are relatively cheap, they're not too expensive. You just got to keep at it. You got to keep practicing, do it every day, and don't really take no for an answer. And I think that will move mountains for you. And I believe that for myself as well. We're in about a week deep so far, and I've gotten some leads. I've made connections with investors. I've made connections with people that have homes off market, so that if I do come across an investor that would meet that criteria, I can match make and make a commission off of that. And then even working with an investor, if they're flipping the home or renting the home, you would get that other side as well. That's typically how investors work. So if you did make it this far, please comment below pink. That'll let me know that you're a real one and you stuck it out. These videos will be getting better, more quality as time goes. Let me know what kind of questions you might have. If you are a new agent, I'm happy to hop on a call with you. My contact information will be below. And I'll see you in the next video. Like I said, if you have questions, just let me know. I'm here as a resource for you. I forgot to mention the total that I made. I made $8,000 my first year. All of that, and this can be for another video. $8,000, and that was due to splits, that was due to fees, and a bunch of other things. And that could be a video for another reason on why I left Remax, went to Keller Williams, and now I'm at EXP. I know that's 3 companies in under 2 years. I don't care. It's my journey. It's my story. I'm here at EXP to stay, and I couldn't be more happy about it. And I will explain all that in a whole nother video that's not for today. So I will see you in the next one. And thanks again, guys. I'll see you. Peace.